Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And so our card, this is a bonus reading for Capricorn, first of all. And our card tonight is the Magician. This is from the Tarot of the Abyss deck. Okay, let's see what we have going on here tonight. Okay. So we have an F and an S right here. F and an S. Okay, we have a person who is holding... We have a person who is holding a flower right here, kind of smelling it, it looks like. So a sense of really kind of being able to stop and smell the roses. We have another flower and butterfly combo right here. Okay, and we have a bear. We also have a hummingbird. So we're going to look at all of these things. Probably some other formations will come up too. Okay. I was looking at this. It kind of almost looked like Gill right here. But kind of jumbled. Like this is a G and then ILL. If that means anything to you. We also have a 2 right here. Okay. And so I want to start with, what should we start with? I think really the person smelling the flower. So as soon as I saw this, it really kind of made me think of like the sweetness of life. Coming into a place in your life where I feel like there's a sense of confidence that kind of exists in your spiritual realm. I kind of see here 2 beings. It looks like a W, but it looks like 2 of them coming together to kind of hold this person up. Okay. And so I feel like this kind of angelic presence in your life that really is lifting your spirits. And I feel like you are in a place where you're feeling quite connected to that kind of other thing, that the veil is a bit lifted for you and you are really seeing things in a way that feels so vibrant, so alive. And I feel like there's really a confidence in your ability to kind of be, and we have that magician energy, kind of be manifesting the things that you want in your life, being able to envision the future that you want and seeing quite clearly the paths forward. Also, the things that you really need to do to get there. And I feel like it feels like such a powerful ability. And I think it takes away a lot of this feeling of, of anxiety, but also just kind of being indecisive. I think that it's like, okay, well, I see right here what I have to do. I'm going to go through this process, kind of tick off the list of things And as you do, you are seeing results. It is verifying itself. There is this confirmation here that you are doing the work that you should be doing. It has presented itself to you like some kind of divine revelation. You have the power to see it. You have the motivation to act upon it. And, the ability, the skills, and really, this is a big thing too, is that you have the work ethic to really kind of get in there and see things to an end. And so this is really a very blessed time for you. I think that there is an amount of success that is just kind of there. I mean, the potential is huge. Okay. And this might be that big thing in your life that's going to kind of change everything else. We also have the hummingbird here. Okay. And you can see, with the flower here. And so there is, and the hummingbird is fast. It's here, it's there, it's working. It's going a million miles per second. And so, we think of a Capricorn as kind of this, maybe Saturnine, a little bit slow and steadily moving, but very, almost at times kind of imperceivable. But then I really believe within the work of space and creating and being innovative, this is where you excel. I mean, it just absolutely, it gets you in your zone, and you can just spend, forever doing something that you care about. So there's that energy. Now we also have the bear. Okay, and this bear, it looks like it's kind of sauntering a little bit. This is not a bear that's, running and vicious, overly hungry, but still quite powerful. Okay, and in some ways, maybe this is kind of part of the emergence, right? And so, I think that there's a sense of being so very fortified, waking up from a long slumber, knowing exactly by instinct exactly what you need, getting it. Okay. And now, as you are starting to feel more and more alive, the calories are taking hold, and the brain is getting going, right? There is this feeling of the dreams of a long, long sleep coming to the surface. And this is where all of your blueprints are, right? And so you start to look at the world and think, okay, this is where I'm going to apply these things. I made use of that downtime. I never really stopped working at all. But here are some, kind of almost otherworldly planning sessions that I've been doing. And here they come from these dream realms. They come from this other place. They come from my visions, from my, my intuitions, my sacred knowledge, and so on. And, being the intellectual, the learned powerhouse that you are going to implement this into your life. And I see big success. Really, this is the year. Last year wasn't necessarily a bad year either, at least that second half. But I do see this year really ramping up to be a very lucrative one for you. Okay. Now over here, turn it just a little bit, we have the large flower, and it looks like it has the butterfly shape to it, okay? So this is quite a beautiful bloom, isn't it? And we have this gorgeous butterfly. We know the butterfly is a symbol of a vibrant metamorphosis and growth, self-evolution, and so it is. You know, I feel like this is a time in your life where I feel like there's a confidence to just really being in there, knowing what you are about. I almost kind of feel like this is like what we would think of like as a type A person, you know, somebody very sure of themselves. Now, I don't necessarily think, now you could be a type A person for sure, but I don't think it's just that. I think that there's a sense of, it's just a sense of knowing, you know, it's like there are some things in our lives that we just absolutely feel so tied to, not even tied to, we just fit into it. This is something that when we arrive to, yes, this is a thing that is so much a part of me. It feels like it came from me, you know, and it flows from the in to the out and to the out, from the out to the in. There is an ever kind of mirroring there. And so, you know, I feel like this is one of those times in your lives, and this is one of those things that is almost so much about your personality, your persona, your, you know, your, this physical representation of you in this shared reality that we call waking life, right? This is a thing that you have come into, this ability to you know, do whatever you're doing, whatever kind of work or creative output, and it feels like a home. It feels like part of your core being. And I don't know what else to say, but, you know, not a lot of people find this in life. They maybe kind of promote the idea, right? They kind of manufacture their maybe social medias or their public persona as being somebody who kind of knows exactly what they're doing, and they, you know, they love their life, and they're, you know, they're like a boss, and they, you know, make all the moves and whatever it is, right? But, you know, when you get past the very superficial aspects of, you see quite easily that, you know, they're just like anybody else. It's a put on. Well, there are a few people in life that you will come to, you know, encounter where it's like, yeah, this person really knows, you know, what they want, what they like, what they're doing. They're very learned in the things that they have applied themselves to. You know, there's just a sense that is kind of very interesting and commanding, and they are kind of the rulers of their own little lives, right? And I feel like this is kind of that energy. Okay, this is when people meet you, I feel like they do. They know that you they know that you are where you're supposed to be in life. You are not somebody who is confused about that. Okay? All right. Now this one does kind of, it feels like two people kind of, I almost want to say they're dancing. And maybe kind of a third person watching. And I feel like that you probably do have a pretty intense connection with somebody if you're married in a relationship, or this is kind of an unrealized love. I feel like this is like maybe your person of life, right? Even if you married somebody else or whatever happened here, maybe you haven't met them yet. That could be as well. But this is your person. This is your person. This is you. This is a person that, if you were to answer without thinking, somebody said to you, who is the love of your life? Or do you have a love of your life? Do you have a beloved? This is the person, right? It comes to mind immediately. And so, I feel like there's a sense of wishing that you could figure out how to share this life with them in a way that worked. I think that this has been a relationship that has been somewhat tumultuous and maybe just ill-timed. Right? It's never just kind of worked out in the right timing. And I feel like there's a sense of lament here. I think that it's a blessing to be absolutely in love with somebody. It's a blessing to, I do think that in some ways, and maybe this is my love for poetry, and maybe I'm a little bit of a poet in my own mind, in my heart, definitely. But I think it's almost sometimes a blessing when our great loves go unrealized, because, and this is, just, I think that this can happen, especially in a more abstract way, right? And this is why I think love as a younger person is so profound. It remains profound throughout your life, when you think back on it. But there is a sense of a love that has not been kind of sullied by the tedium of life. There is a purity to it, an intensity to it. And it's something that, just kind of sticks with some people. Not everybody. Not everybody. I don't know that I have that experience exactly. If my cat companions count, I still absolutely miss, my beloved cats who have departed over the years and things like that. But, I think though that this is something, I look at this and I think there's a sense of, I wish we could just get it right, and it's been hard to figure out how to do that. And, and it might even be that like you're in your relationship with the person, but the years have changed both of you. And there is a feeling of, I wish we could be who we used to be. I wish we could, go back. I wish we could figure out a way to return to that time or whatever before, the circumstances of life have changed us, and that's something about a marriage that, happens. It does. And it's why we have to continually decide to be with each other, not that everything is going to make you break up, but yeah, you have to continually choose one another, it's so, and I find that profoundly beautiful, by the way. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think it's important for us to check in and say, yeah, I absolutely, we maybe are not the closest as we've ever been. We might be getting older and we're doing different things, and sometimes our interests do not align. Our schedules don't allow for us to be together very often or often enough. And yet, despite all of that, we really, we want to work towards being healthy together, being in a relationship that feels healthy and loving and devoted and all of the things. And sometimes we have to make that decision every single day. Sometimes it's not as often. It just kind of it goes along how it does. But this is something that any kind, and it's not even just marriage. I mean, this could be a friendship. It could be a relationship with a family member, whatever. I think that there's a very unrealistic idea, and it is a romantic idea, that we just choose somebody and we always stay extremely connected with them. We're always on good terms, no matter what. There's unconditional love forever and ever and ever. Well, I don't know if that really happens. Maybe it does, but I think more often than not, and it's more realistic, and I think it preserves the relationship being more realistic in this way. It's that we have to work for love to maintain it. We have to work for our relationships. If they are blood, if they are our children, if they are our spouses, if they are our best friends, or whatever it is, we have to work within these relationships. We have to honor the people we love, respect them, take care of one another, be there in the ways that we can, to listen, to really listen, and show up for each other. And that's not easy. And it's not always balanced, and it's not always equal, but a relationship is as alive as the people involved in it. It grows and it changes, and it is its own being in a lot of ways, So I look at this and I think, I don't know. I have no real advice except for I know that there's love here. And I know that if it is something you decide to continue to dwell in that love, I think it's pretty profound for you. I also know, I understand, love is also, there can be a lot of that lamenting and all of that as well, so do something with it. Do something with these feelings, use it in your work, in your creativity, in your magical endeavors. It's not often in life that we are so moved, even if it's something that just feels so awful, so kind of, heartbreaking, or just, there's just this desire for things to connect in the right way. And it just it never works out, use that energy. Don't waste it. Don't let it destroy you either. But yes, I like to talk about this idea of sublimation, taking these aspects of self that sometimes feel quite unsavory. Other times, yeah, it just it is something to feel anything this deeply. You know, we don't get that a lot in life. So pouring it into something that can be so beautiful or grotesque or whatever it is, but creating with it. Letting it be the fire that, you know, really burns brightly within you. Or what else is there, really? You know, what else really is there? Okay, so we have a butterfly, we have a fish, and we have a little heart up there. So we do have just this, it is this, the evolution of self. It just keeps showing it, showing up here. We have the butterfly, the fish, we have the abundance, okay? And I think this is, again, the resources coming. This real kind of like I've struck gold kind of feeling. And then with the heart, there's just a wildly intense and heart aflame through all of this. You know, we don't think of Capricorn as being super passionate people, not in the way that some of the other signs that are kind of more overt about it. But there is. I think of it kind of as being like, you know, the like on the tundra, right? And there is, you know, a vessel of warm, thriving, you know, kind of blood and heart and flesh, and against this landscape of emptiness and bitter cold, and probably you know, the blowing around, the snow blowing, and sometimes quite dark, and other times the sky is so blue, but it is so absolutely frigid. You know, just it will take the life out of you if you let it. And so against that backdrop, there is a being there just full of life, of you know, almost like lava, the warm blood of existence, of being a animal, a corporeal being that is thriving against all odds. You know, and that's what I kind of imagine of a Capricorn. And so to think that a Capricorn isn't one of the most passionate beings in the world, the universe, well, you are mistaken. You are mistaken. Okay, let's see. Let's check out our doors and see what they have to say tonight. I really like this one on top. It looks like it has a mouth, the eyes in the mouth. Like a big fish or something. Okay, and I'll stop where it feels right. And we will take a look. I like this place. I like so much green built into the side of a mountain. I love it. Nomad. The nomadic wanderer lies deep inside. So take the leap now. Don't crawl back and hide. Don't crawl back and hide. And it is kind of looks like a cave, like a very beautiful cave, right? Where our little bear came out of. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead here and tell you I love you. Absolutely, I love you. And I thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. All right. I love you. We will we'll talk. We'll have another reading here in a few days. And yeah, take care of yourselves. I think it's still the full moon, so we still have that full moon energy. Yes. All right. Good night.